Yeah, bless up guys, Yannick Reed here and welcome back to the YouTube channel. As I said before, my name is Yannick Reed and on this channel I like to talk about tech, creativity and lifestyle, focusing on photography and videography. So if that sounds good to you, please hit the subscribe button for more videos just like these. Alright, I'm gonna tell you up front, the video here it's gonna be longer. We are chill, we are all apart, grab a drinks like this, because as the title said, in this video we're gonna talk about everything what I'm talking about in the Apple keynote that kept on October 13th. Yeah, so before we dive in, I got beg couple pardon from him. I gotta be like really frank. Normally I'm really trying to be like super polished in these videos and stuff like that, but I tell you up front, I write down some stuff so I can remember everything, and there's a lot of stuff I write down. So if you see me looking down at my iPad, just pardon me because I'm just trying to get through this video while not forgetting everything. So let us dive right in. So obviously this video we're talking about the iPhone 12s, and you don't know, Apple has announced four new iPhones today. The iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 mini, the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So we can talk about the iPhone 12 first. Obviously this is the phone that's replacing the iPhone 11. You don't know, it come in all these new nice lovely colors, and you don't know like this is just the average model for everybody. You don't know your standard iPhone user, just the general person. And the good thing about the 12 and the 12 mini is that they have the same features, but the 12 mini has a 5.4 inch screen at 1080 and the 12 has a 6.1 screen. That's like a little above 1080, but they are essentially the same exact phone, one just small, one just bigger. So all you have to think about is if you want a bigger phone or if you want a smaller phone. The chip inside all of these iPhones is the A14 Bionic, which is just Apple's newest chip, fastest chip. It just does what it's supposed to do at the end of the iPad 2. And like the 11 before it, this phone has the standard camera, which is referred to as the wide camera, and the ultra wide camera, so only two. There's no third lens or telephoto on the iPhone 12 and 12 mini. So everything good that you knew about the 11 from last year has been carried over to the 12 and the 12 mini with improvements that we are going to discuss right now. So the colors that them have is blue, white, project red, the green and the blue. In the screen now, them have ceramic in the screen. Them call it a ceramic shield. It's like a layer of ceramic, I think either on top or embedded into how they make the screen now. So that just means that the screen is more resistant to cracking. Great for people who are clumsy. The iPhone 12 and 12 mini, they're said to be 50% faster than the 11 and I think probably the 11 Pro as well. Both camera lenses have larger apertures, so it just means that they're letting in more light, so they will perform better in low light and give you some better pictures in low light. Great news, like big news is that now you have night mode and deep fusion on all of the lenses. Before, night mode was only on the standard wide lens. Ultra wide kind of get left with nothing. They have night mode on all the lenses, even the front facing camera. You don't know when the light is low, you can still make use of night mode on all the cameras, which is super important. That's great. That's coming to the 12, not even just the 12 Pro, the 12. And deep fusion, which is basically the buzzword name that Apple has for we take better photos in not bright light but like medium indoor light. So it's like not night mode but call it like indoor mode. Yeah, so it just giving you like better quality when the light is not so great, but it's good. Wow, Smart HDR3, which when you take your photos outside and it's a bright sunny day and you don't want your skies to just look like one big blown out white mess, AI just darkens the sky, the sensor for the sky, so it can keep your skies covered and stuff like that. You know, when sometimes you're using your iPhone and you see it might flicker and like you see the sky kind of got, you know, out, that's like Smart HDR working in the background. We still have optical image stabilization on the standard lens, and they have an all new night mode time lapse if you're into time lapses. And then now the iPhones have magnets in them. They brought back MagSafe, which was like something that they used on laptops for chargers, but now it's like a feature for accessories in iPhones. Whatever, I like it. I think it's cool. So basically all the iPhones have magnets in the back, and they have these special accessories including chargers that can charge your phone, but like cases, wallets and stuff like that that can attach to the back of the phone as well as communicate with the phone to do various stuff, and there's like a list of accessories that are out on the website now. I kind of like the car charger that's supposed to come. They have like this cute little like leather wallet that you can attach on, so cute. They have cases that are like smart, that know that their case is on the phone. We're going to see some implementations of what can be done with MagSafe from first party and third party stuff. And now in terms of how they ship the iPhone, some changes that have been made is that you still get a lightning cable in the box, but it's not lightning to regular USB, it's lightning to USB-C, so it'll charge it faster. The downside is that it doesn't come with any charging brick, so you get in your iPhone and just the cable in this new interesting slimmer box, which they say is better for the environment. I know I see some people kind of ruin, say there's no charger, how can there be no charger in the box? But I'm sure if you're watching this video right now on your phone, you already own a charger. Do you use the tiny little iPhone brick? No, you don't. So you already have a charger. Make the best use of it, or just buy one that you like. So you don't know the storage size for the iPhone 12s and the 12 minis. You're coming in 64, 128, and 256. And the prices start for the iPhone mini at $699, and for the iPhone 12 start at $799. So you know, after they announced the iPhone 12 and the 12 mini, they went on to announce the granddaddy. You don't know, the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think this year the Pro models actually feel a little bit more pro, like the features that are added to the Pro model are like really for people who are kind of like just really into like doing professional stuff or just being extra. The gap between the 12 and the 12 Pro is not as big as the 11 and the 11 Pro, which is good for everybody who should just be buying the 12 and not necessarily shelling the bucks for the 12 Pro. But let's talk about the 12 Pro's features. 12 Pro and the Pro Max, they carry all of the new features that I have mentioned from the 12 and the 12 mini. I don't know, the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max is taking the space of the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max, easy. But unlike the 11 Pro Max and the 11 Pro, whereas you know last year the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max were pretty much identical, the only thing different was the size. But we have some minor differences between the two, which we're going to get into as well. Both phones are the same size as their last year version, right? Like physically they are the same size. The screen real estate is different, meaning that they got rid of the bezels. You know, because of the new design, which is like chamfered edges, kind of more like the iPhone 4 and 5, love that design. They were able to make the screen bigger by just reducing how much of just this border was around the whole thing. Stay with me. Same physical size but bigger screen. The iPhone Pro is moving from 5.8 inches, and that is measured diagonally, like across the screen. We're moving from 5.8 inches, this is 5.8 inches, to 6.1, and the Pro Max is moving from 6.5 inches to 6.7 inches. The 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max come in their own unique set of colors. We have silver, graphite, gold, and Pacific blue. I am particularly a fan of the Pacific blue. I'm very sad that they do not have the midnight green anymore, because that's what I really wanted when I got the 11 Pro, and I got stuck with the gold that kind of feels more like a champagne. And the gold in this model looks more gold, but it still looks really feminine. Feminine is good, but I don't want a feminine phone for me. The storage now, we start at 128, we have 256, that's where I'm at, and 512. So the cameras, this is kind of where things get a little different, so I'm gonna need a little more assistance, so bear with me. Telephoto lens. The telephoto lens would be the one here on this side. It has an aperture of 2.0, which is wider. As I said, bigger apertures, more light, so that's nice and bright. And the focal length is about 55 millimeters, so they label it as 2x zoom. But the Pro Max has a 65 millimeter telephoto, which is labeled as 2.5. The telephoto lens, i.e. the zoom lens, has two different focal lengths. So one's at 55 and one's at like 65. These aren't actual distance measurement, but kind of just giving you the distance. So one closer than the other. Stay with me. Both of them in the standard wide camera, which is pretty much to Apple like the prime camera. All the first features usually come to the standard camera. So the standard camera has a bigger sensor, and when you have a bigger sensor, you can just absorb more light, and it helps for image quality, increasing low light performance by 87%. We have yet to see how true that is, but that's a nice big number. Also increases image quality. Both versions will be getting Apple Pro RAW, which is Apple's own way of combining high information RAW files like seen in mirrorless cameras and DSLR for professional with the iPhone's intelligent AI and computational photography for smart HDR and deep fusion. So this is really going to make for some images that can handle more complex and professional editing workflows, which is a pretty big deal if it's pulled off. On the Apple website, you kind of see like an asterisk next to it, so I don't think it's gonna really pop up at launch, but it's gonna come a little bit later. But we'll talk about ProRes a little bit more. Let's just continue down the line of features. Both the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max will be able to shoot HDR video, Dolby HDR at that, and I think it's the only camera in existence that can shoot Dolby HDR. Dolby HDR is just like high dynamic range, which just means less blown out skies and less pitch black shadows. That technology is already present in your photos, but these advancements are coming to video in real time. Dolby is just, you know, standard, like a cinema standard, more than just any random HDR that you see out there. You know, like buzzword is like Dolby's version of HDR. Give you like some more high quality videos. This HDR is gonna be accompanied by being in 10-bit. You may be seeing 10-bit and you're like, yo, what the hell does 10-bit mean? The quickest way that I can explain bit depth to you is, remember when you were in prep school or primary school and you get the Crayola packs, and you'd have Crayola packs that came in like maybe 4 colors and 8 colors and 12 colors. Imagine having to draw a scene with 8 colors, and imagine having to draw a scene 10 colors or 12 colors. So that's really the difference. Most cameras nowadays are shooting 8-bit depth. 10-bit just gives you more colors, more gamut, and it just means that when you go to edit this footage, it will allow you to manipulate it a little bit more before it starts to look like mush. There's an all-new Lidar Scanner. This is like a sensor, but a Lidar Scanner can record depth. It's using a sensor to record depth, and that improves like autofocus in low light. So like when you have to take pictures inside that dark dinky bar with all of those friends that you actually kind of hate and you just want to get a nice photo, Lidar is going to help you to do that. Lidar also assists you in being able to do night mode portrait, that same autofocus. And Lidar, since it can, you know, perceive depth, distance between objects, it can do interesting stuff with AR, like help you to measure a room. How would you want to measure a room? Who knows? You might need to move out, you might need to move in, you might need to bury a body. No, you might just need some dimensions, you know what I mean? Both phones have optical image stabilization, but the Pro Max has branded sensor shift, which means normally with iPhone, since I feel like the XS, is that the lens moves to stabilize the image. Now in the Pro Max, just the Pro Max, the sensor itself will move. The sensor itself moving is better because it's the thing that records the image, so it will translate less shake. Truth be told, to most people it will be probably imperceptible. It's just slightly better technology. So the Pro Max just has a sensor inside that will wiggle and move. Everybody else will just use the lens to move, like what we've been doing for like maybe the past 2 or 3 years. Helps to reduce camera shake, smoother footage. You know, people who are watching that, you're thinking about, Yannick, alright, so help me, which one you think I should get? A normal phone user who does normal things, that just wants their phone to work, take a photo and go. The iPhone 12 will do all of what you need. The most useful and important features for the average user is here. Better camera, night mode, HDR video, the newest processor, tougher screens, MagSafe features and accessories, and screen quality. Truth be told, 90% of people can lock them eye, buy the 12 or the 12 mini, and you're gonna be good. Like, you're gonna be really good. You're really not missing out on that much. The gap between the 12 and the 12 Pro is not that huge. If you really want the telephoto now, then that is like your first step into the 12 Pro. And you might say, Yannick, why them just couldn't put the telephoto on the 12? Well, you know, a lot of studies kind of show that people kind of value the wide angle lens more than the telephoto lens. So to keep the 12 cheaper, and if they have to use two lenses, they're better just use the two lenses that people use. Who is the 12 Pro and the Pro Max for? Why should you get it? If you are a clout chasing flex, I'm kidding. 12 Pro Max is for extra people. That's the fact. Extra people like me, power users, the photographers, and the videographer nerds, because most of the key features are really in the camera. Stuff like Pro RAW, 10-bit HDR is for folks like me who actually edit both on our phones and off. So if you have never like taken a iPhone photo or video literally off your phone and like probably put it on a computer and edited it, or video edited it or stuff like that, there's no need for you to get the 12 Pro, because that's what those features are for. If you don't find yourself really pushing any of those mediums that are on your phone, you'll be really good with the 12. Just some final notes to just wrap up as we get out of here. The HomePod Mini, it's a good price. I believe it will sound good. Siri sucks. It doesn't support Spotify, so but if you like Apple Music, at $99 will make a great gift. The stereo thing is pretty cool too. My favorite feature, Apple Pro RAW, which, you know, as a photographer is amazing because that's a combination of computational photography and raw photography. So this is like great for like content creation. I can't wait till that bus, because that just means so much to be able to get all of the goodies that the AI does to fix the image, and have the control of raw to like edit and like put it through the ringer like Lightroom and stuff like that. Should be particularly interesting. The 10-bit HDR is particularly interesting as well. I literally cannot believe that a phone has 10-bit, much less HDR. I can't explain how sought after a feature like this is on professional cameras. This camera right here is not shooting 10-bit. Just these two features really going to take the level up in terms of what's possible with mobile content creation. Cannot wait to see what app developers, like what kind of apps I'm going to take advantage of all of these new features. Trust me, it's gonna be exciting. Is it enough for you to upgrade? That's for you to decide. What I would say on the balanced end of the spectrum, now that the 12 and the 12 Pro is out, the 11 and the 11 Pro should drop in price, especially on the used market. This phone didn't suddenly become crap, it will suddenly become cheaper. You can buy this or even a 10s, you will still be good. You can buy an iPhone SE and still genuinely no crap be good. You're gonna get the same apps, you're gonna have like access to 90% of the features and stuff that were announced today, because most of what makes iOS great is software, and I'm an advocate of using slightly older stuff because it's just more purposeful. Do not have to buy the latest stuff. You don't have to make this stuff make you feel small. New things also mean that slightly less new things get cheaper, and this probably mean that you can probably get your hands on an 11 Pro or 11 or a 10s or a SE for cheaper. And I think that's the perfect note to end on this. Let's talk about in the comments. Did you guys watch the keynote? What you guys think about these new features? Is it all a bunch of hullabaloo? Are you vexed and no charger got there in the box? Comments, chat. You don't know, say I respond to everybody, so I just want to hear what you guys have to say. Yo, y'all make the switch to Apple this year? I see you. I know you're watching this video. Yeah, man. And you know, if you do, you should just go on and bless up yourself.